Good morning, Professor. My name is Seerath and my student ID is 0763735. Today, my topic of the oral presentation is environmental changes. Environment is the most important part of our life. Is the objects and the things, the circumstances in which we are surrounded by. These are very important for our living, for our survival. But by the bad human activities, which are badly impacted on the environment. Due to these activities, the sudden changes are appear in the environment. That's why the climate change is the major problem which we face today. There are many reasons of the change of the environment, but the main reasons of the changes is human activities which are badly impacted the environment. Not the all human activities which are badly impacted on the environment, but deforestation, pollution, uses of lots of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, either the other things which are also impacted influence the life of others and our also. All of the animals and the living beings impacted on the earth by the environment changes, but the most important thing is the main reason of these changes is us, not anyone else, because we don't know how to use the environmental resources, how to use the recycled things. Due to these lack of information and lack of communication and the other things, we face the major problem which are environmental changes such as climate change. Climate change is the worst part of the nowadays, because nowadays the weather becomes suddenly changed and we don't know how to deal with that thing, because by the deforestation, due to the major demand of the land for factories, for houses, there are so much destructions of the forests. Approximately 18 million acres are deforested on the daily basis. And due to the deforestation, global warming is the main thing, because due to the lack of the forests and lack of the trees, there are so many harmful gases which are not dissolved in the atmosphere, and none of the trees which are present which are absorb them. There are so many major problems caused, such as skin problems, skin rashes, untimely rain, which are also affected by crops, and soil fertility is also impacted by those. Due to these greenhouse gases, the temperature of the earth are slightly increases day by day, not suddenly but slightly increases day by day, which are very bad influence on the living beings, because if the lesser trees are present on the earth and on the place on which the temperature is higher than the other things, then it make a trap inside the envelope of the atmosphere on the earth. If this thing is not be observed or not be congested, we are congested in that thing, and which is very very bad for our survival, because without these resources and without the natural resources, none of the living being is survived on the earth. These changes put many effects on the crops, on the yields also, such as on the farming. Sometimes the uncertain rain, untimely rain also cause droughts and floods, which both are very harmful for the crops. Also, the sudden change of the temperature and the deforestation, destructions of the trees, and the other destruction of the crops also impact the fertility of the soil, because fertility of the soil is very important for the good crops. As the fertility of the soil decreases, also it reduces the yield of the crops also. Most complex and the variation thing of on our earth is biodiversity, but due to these certain changes, the biodiversity is on the lack of the extent, because when the animals which extinct like dodo, the bird which is very important for the growth of the many trees like people banyan trees, which are always provide oxygen to us, is no more because of these certain changes, because of the most hunting of them, and also there are not exactly the reservations of these things. That's why we have to come forward and took more efforts to save the environment. Water is life, but nowadays no one is concerned about the water pollution. I agree that the thing is being part of our life, but no one is confront to save the environment, to save the water. But the save water is only become a phrase nowadays, because if the water flows, it flows, because no one is going to stop it, no one is going to protest against it. If anyone do, then it is a fake thing, it shows like a fake thing. But these things are very important for us, for our survival. There are many ways to save the environment, to stop these harmful changes. There are like use renewable sources of energy, use LEDs and fluorescent lights instead of bulbs, use lesser automobiles, use more bicycles, and use more things like that which are not used petrol and diesels. Most of the important thing is buy organic things, buy organic food, don't buy frozen foods, because if we bought frozen foods, and for the frozen of those foods are used by carbon monoxide, nitrogen gas, which are greenhouse gases, and it become the major cause of the greenhouse effect. Make compost, decompose the kitchen waste, because it is very important to decompose those things which are biodegradable. There are many things which are non-biodegradable, but the things which are biodegradable, make compost by them. There are many international conventions which are working for the bettership of the environment for us, but if we don't cooperate them, if we didn't use the things which are recycled and reused, there is no use of, and there is no thing which are helpful for us. There are many agencies which make laws in the bettership of the environment. That's why a agency in 1996 is established, and the main purpose of these agencies are to save environment for the future generations. And there is not only protect the environment and to make whole issue of it, but it is the most important thing that we have to make a part of our life to save the environment, and changes in our habits. Use organic things by using by stop using non renewable sources, non biodegradable sources. There are so many things that we have to do to save our environment, which is very important for us and for the survival of all the living beings on the earth. Thank you.